We're going to talk all about leads, and not just like any leads, but ideal client leads, flooding your email database. My name is Gina Tassinelli, and I am the CEO of Hype Media and Stylishly Branded. We are a full-scale marketing agency as well as mentorship, consulting, and coaching agency. And I work with high-level experts just like yourself that are looking to put yourself out there in the world, out in public, to your ideal clients. But we do it in a way that makes you become this irresistible go-to solution to premium clients, people that want to work with you because they see the value in you. And we do this by using video marketing as one of our anchor pieces of content to help you do that. And then strategies all around that to help you build visibility, lead generation, and sales. Now, what is a lead magnet? Essentially, a lead magnet is something that you can provide to your audience, to your ideal clients. That's a resource or an offer. You're going to give that to them in exchange for their contact information. Typically, it's going to be their email address, maybe their email and their phone number, and definitely their name. Now, this is crucial for building your email list, especially, and creating a pipeline. So listen, we are in business. Part of business is making sales. We need to have a pipeline. A pipeline is where we're moving our audience. What stages of the customer journey are we moving our audience through? And if you don't know what your pipeline is, we need to talk and we need to be working together, because this is what's going to keep you organized, and it's going to allow you to follow up with people that you are having conversations with, whether it's virtually and offline in person. Right? So if you do a lot of networking, for example, and you are at a lot of business in-person events, you still have a pipeline of where those people are in your sales process. If not, then I don't know, maybe you're just out networking just for fun. But I'm all about, working smarter, not harder. And everything that you do in your business should have an intention and a goal. And so part of this is when we are like marketing ourselves online, right? When you're putting a piece of content out there, what is the end goal of that content for you and for the person on the other side? If you're just posting just to post on social media and you're wondering why you're not getting engagement and why you're not getting business, then it's most likely because you're missing this part. You haven't yet really identified your customer journey and you're not moving people through a pipeline. So a lead magnet is going to allow you to create this pipeline of warm leads that you can nurture and convert into actual paying clients. And there's a psychology to this. We want to transition from marketing to lead magnet. So lead magnets are really like the bridge between people being aware of you, which is your marketing. That's what marketing is for. So they become aware of you. They start to build this like, know, and trust factor with you, and you start to have communication and conversations. So lead magnets act as this bridge between the awareness, the marketing, and them taking action, which is actually making a purchase. And when potential clients feel that they're receiving value up front, like a checklist, like a free tutorial, like a free training, they're more likely to trust you, to see your expertise, and to eventually make some sort of purchase. So the breakdown of how a lead magnet is going to move a potential client from interest to action is they become a lead because they have grabbed that lead magnet, right? They have said, yes, I want this lead magnet. They've signed up for it. They've opted in. Maybe you have created what we call inside of our programs an activation post, right? Like something that says, if I were to do a training about blank that can help you with blank, would you want to know? Everybody that raises their virtual hand underneath that post is essentially a lead. And now it's your responsibility to deliver that resource to them, right? Once you deliver that resource to them, they become a prospect. And once they become a prospect, you have a better opportunity of making that sale. So let's jump into number one is how to choose the right type of lead magnet for your audience. So it's not just like, let me just create this checklist and hope that people want it, right? We want to identify what's going to be the best lead magnet for our target audience based on what you know about their needs and their behaviors. So this is where really understanding your clients your potential clients is so important. Just like when you're creating content, it's really important to know what your clients need, what their pain points are, what their struggles, because you want it to resonate with them. You want it to be relevant to them for them to pay attention. The same thing with a lead magnet. If you want your lead magnet to be consumed, it's got to be something that your audience struggles with the most that's going to help them with that, right? Like, what can you offer that's going to provide a really quick solution and insight? Remember, it's free. So you're not trying to give away everything, but you do want them to get some sort of insight. The second part of choosing the right lead magnet is understanding what type of lead magnet is going to work best, right? Is it going to be a checklist or a cheat sheet of some sort, like 10 tips to grow your business fast, if you're like a business coach? Is it going to be a free tutorial or maybe a video series? You can create a video series. Like, actually, one of our clients recently did this with perimenopause. And so she has 5 videos that walk you through perimenopause, right? So she's a holistic wellness coach. And that is a free resource that you can opt in for. She's going after women that are moms that are 40 plus, and many of them, like myself, are dealing with perimenopause, right? So that's going to be super helpful, like for somebody like myself who's having night sweats at the age of 46. You could do an assessment or a quiz, like what's your business strength? Another type of lead magnet could be a free audit. It could be a consultation call. Another type of lead magnet could be a case study, believe it or not, or success stories. So you could put together a PDF that includes lots of different case studies that people can read, like before and afters. If you're, for example, a coach, you want to paint the picture of what your client or a client was going through prior to working with you. And then during and after working with you, the steps that you help them with in order to change and get results. And if you have like 3 or 5 of those, you can put that into a PDF, and that itself is a case study. The third part of choosing the right lead magnet is matching the lead magnet to your offer. So one of the biggest mistakes that I see is that people are creating lead magnets just to like get people into their emails, but it doesn't match. It doesn't lead to the offer. So it doesn't make sense, right? So you want to make sure that when you're choosing your lead magnet, no matter what type of lead magnet it is, that it's going to align with the paid services or products that you then want to lead them to. Because remember, they're a lead and then a prospect, and then you got to move them to the sale. But if between the lead and prospect, it doesn't make sense, there's this misalignment, then they're not going to say yes or even say no to the offer. They're just going to be like, I don't know. Or, maybe they're saying no because they don't understand, because it's not all really cohesive and going together. And then the fourth part of this is you want to really brainstorm ideas with your audience before you actually create it. So that's why these activation posts that say things like, if I were to do a training about blank, would you be interested? Right? If nobody comments, now there are some other nuances why people may not comment. For example, maybe you're just not super active on social media, so nobody really saw that post. But if you are, let's pretend that you're super active on social media, you're engaging with others, you have an active profile, and you do an activation post like, if I were to do a training about blank, would you want to know? Or if I could show you how to blank in less than blank days, would you want to know? If people are commenting to those activation posts, then you know that that particular training or resource is actually going to work as a lead magnet. Part 2 of creating your high impact lead magnet is, how do you do it? Like, how do you create it, right? So you want to make this super compelling. We want to show that this is compelling, that it's high value, and it's worth it for that person to give you their name, email address, potentially their phone number in exchange for what it is that you're giving them. Okay, so lead with value first. The lead magnet should solve a specific problem or give them actionable insights or steps to take like immediately. I have done, for example, like this right now, what I'm sharing with you. I'm giving you actionable steps for you to take so that you can actually go and create your lead magnet. In most of my trainings, I'm giving you actual like how-to steps. Now, there needs to be a gap though, because if you're just giving lead magnets all the time and you're giving too much how-to, then what is the reason for them to actually need you, for you to help them implement it, guide them, coach them, or mentor them? The second part of how to create your lead magnet is you want to make sure that you're crafting compelling content within that lead magnet. So make sure that, if it's a checklist, that it's compelling, but it's super focused, it's simple, and there's actionable steps. If it's a tutorial, like what I'm doing today, break it down into like bite-sized lessons. If it's an assessment or a quiz, use questions that are going to provide the client, not you, but the potential client with clarity. It's going to get them to start thinking about, okay, wow, you know what? Maybe I do have more of a problem than I thought. Maybe I do need more help than I thought. The third part to creating your high impact lead magnet is the design. We do not need to get super advanced and difficult so that it distracts you from actually putting this out there. Canva has tons of templates. If you go to Etsy, you can buy templates for like $3. There are so many resources out there. If you're doing a video tutorial, record yourself on Zoom. Use that video. Use Loom is another one that I really love. I love Loom because you can actually add links to it. You can add a video description at the bottom, and it also tracks like who opened it, things like that. So that's a really good one. For quizzes and assessments, there are really robust quiz makers out there, but you could do something as simple as a Google form. So it does not have to be super complicated, and make it really simple so that it's visually appealing and professional, but it's simple. It's not complicated. If you're doing an ebook, for example, it doesn't need to be like a 30-page ebook, things like that. Part 3 to this, promoting your lead magnet, right? Like we need to get people to the lead magnet in order for them to opt in so that we flood our email list with potential clients. So we want to promote it. Promote. I tell my clients this all the time. If you think you are over promoting, you are probably under promoting. Okay. So different ways to promote your lead magnet: pop-ups on your website, landing pages, banners on your social media accounts, creating urgency with activation posts. Like if I created a checklist with 10 ways to grow your business within the next 30 days, would you want it? Everyone that says yes, and believe me, you will get people that say yes if that's what you do, right? Remember, it's got to align with your offer. Everyone that says yes, you're going to respond to them, and then you're going to send them a DM, and you're going to send them a way to get access to that lead magnet. Using partnerships and collaborations. So I've done a lot of this where we do giveaways with other, JV partners, as well as like email swaps with people. You swap email lists. You give them like an email nurture sequence or a promotional nurture sequence, and vice versa. They give you theirs. There's so many ways about this that works really well. You could do guest posts, webinars with other people, interviews, things like that. Last step. So once it's out there, we need to nurture our leads through marketing, continuous marketing to them, right? So we nurture them through DMs, we nurture them through email, we nurture them through SMS, we nurture them through phone calls. There's so many different ways to nurture. And so what you want to do is make sure that you don't just give them that lead magnet and then you're like, bye, see you later, right? Remember, move them through that customer journey. So now we want them to become a prospect. And one of the ways to do that is by making sure that you have an email sequence that goes along with that lead magnet, right? So like number one, there should be an email sequence as soon as they download that email, that lead magnet, or they sign up for whatever it is that it is. Even if it's a video tutorial, right? You want to make sure that you're sending them an email. And then from there, start to share success stories, case studies, things that relate to the lead magnet topic. Introduce your offer after that. Invite them to book a call or join maybe a masterclass or a workshop, something like that. As you are ongoing nurturing them, you're providing consistent value. You're offering maybe exclusive bonuses. Maybe it's content only for your email subscribers, right? So there's so many different strategies around this. Honestly, the possibilities are endless, but what you don't want to do is you don't want to forget about them. So following up is like one of the biggest things with any of this. And I'm sure you've heard this phrase before. It's everything is in the follow-up, right? So we want to make sure that we're constantly following up. I will see you guys next week. And if you want to message me privately, feel free to do that as well. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them as well. Okay. See you guys next week. Bye.